Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Yes, here are those old Mac fans. How you doing, John?
I'm doing well.
Are you ready for the big Florida freeze of 2025?
The penguin showing up in my yard was a bit of a surprise, but
Yeah, it's gonna get cold. We might even see some snow, which is very uncommon.
yes. What's the last time? I think the last time I remember seeing snow here was, I don't even think I was married yet, so 25 years.
Oh, really? I've seen it since then, but yeah, it's been I can't even remember what it was.
Doesn't happen often. Yeah.
Does not.
Or if it is, it's flurries.
Yeah.
And they just kind of disintegrate before they even really reach the ground.
Yeah. And of course, being uncommon for this area, when it does happen, all chaos.
Gosh.
They've shut down everything.
Yeah, half an inch of snow. Anyone driving for anyone who lives up north, the first year it really snowed down here and it stayed on the ground. Half an inch of snow shut the entire city down.
Yes.
And this Wisconsin boy just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Well, what do we got going on today? Let's switch into gear here with the real
all right
podcast here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was premature. Here we go. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 698 for January 20th, 2025. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
I don't think we teased this week's topic last week.
We didn't. We hadn't really decided what we were going to do yet, I believe.
We like to dip into some old Macintosh magazines for inspiration and to recall what was going on at that time. And we've been flip-flopping between Mac Attic and Macworld.
And I'm really glad we went with Macworld because, this is really kind of perfect because January 1985, the Mac has been out for about a year now.
Uh-huh.
And people have things to say.
Yes. So we'll find out what they were saying in January of 1985 in Macworld magazine. We've got that. We've got eBay finds. We have some news, and didn't I promise an update on my New Year's Retrolution?
Oh yes, yeah.
I haven't counted my first Mac, but I have set up a little station. I took some time today, reorganize the office here, and set up a little place where I will set up the Macs, right? So I can power them up, and I'll set up a variety of different monitors and keyboards. You can already see there that I have one of those optical mice from the original Mac, and then I have a USB trackball and an ADB trackball.
So there you go.
Input devices covered. So from there, I will begin my inventory. So next week,
good.
It will be.
Yes.
All right.
Very nice.
We'll be right back with some eBay finds.
Retro Techie wants to know if you stole that or took that cart from an elementary school. It does look very.
The cart? Oh,
the cart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it has it had like a big.
An old AV cart that they would
wheel big in the CRT TV and a VCR on it. Yeah, that's a great cart. I got that years ago.
For exactly very sturdy.
That purpose, it is sturdy. All right. Oh, that's right. It's better for an overhead projector. Good for an overhead projector.
Nice.
eBay finds. Where are those? pesky eBay finds. There they are. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's time now for eBay finds. That little piggy bank in the style of a strawberry G3 iMac was a little pricey. That was a lot of pricey. At $199 was the buy. Now there was a, I think there was a make an offer, but they sent me because I watched it in my watch list. They sent me an offer, so I can get it for the low price of $135.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, and then we had the tech step, a fine example of a working tech step with the case, the documentation, the cables. They wanted how much? $1,399. Was the buy it now, or you can make an offer. It's still available. And then the tabletop clock made out of an old Mac Mini G4. This one had a buy it now $49.99. Still available, or you can make an offer. All right. We'll begin with some I'd rather be driving a Macintosh bumper sticker. Not just one, but a whole stack of them that somebody came across, was holding all these years. I don't know, but these are rare bumper stickers, and this person has, it's hard to tell from the picture, but it looks like dozens of them.
It just says more than 10 available on the on the
now
auction.
They're not selling the whole stack. They're selling them individually for a buy it now of $29.99. But these are great bumper stickers that were what they reflected I think the test drive a Macintosh campaign.
That makes sense. Sure.
I think the idea was that maybe it's just a coincidence that they use the same metaphor. But because I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it was because it was on a car, so say driving a Macintosh works.
Yeah, so it's got the 6-color logo there. These looks like they're in excellent shape, well preserved for being over 40 years old. Nice bumper stickers, $29.99. They ship from Portland, Oregon. And next
we have an Apple Macintosh Quadra 900 vintage tower in fair condition. It's got the weird thing where it happens where the kind of outer L shape of plastic has patinaed at a different rate than the rest of the case. I don't know if you've noticed that. I've got the same problem with one of my servers back there. But other than that, I mean, what they're calling fair, it looks not bad. It's got looks like there was a sticker on the side, and you can see the kind of the tan line from where the sticker was. That is pretty much all they say. There's nothing else included with it. It's just the working computer. It has been fully tested, and they say the fan is a bit noisy. It comes with a 30-day warranty, which is pretty cool for something this old. Price-wise, it's $599.99. I have no idea kind of the value of these models, and they don't really go into any details as to how much RAM it has, what kind of, looking at the back of it, I'm trying to see if it looks like there's any cards installed. It looks like you've got an multi-AV card. Let's see, I'm trying to get a closer look at that. And it's got all right, so this is good. It's the graphics card has for the Apple monitor and also for VGA. It looks like it's got one empty slot. Now, do you see the sticker above it that says DigiDesign?
Yeah,
so I'm guessing that card is a DigiDesign card, right?
Yeah.
DIO input.
Yeah, there's some interesting connectors there above those like RCA phono jack cables.
Well, those are showing that's DIO. It's the initials. So something input and output.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame they don't show it in working order. They say it is, but
Yeah.
if they went to the trouble of connecting it to a monitor, then it would have been nice if they would have snapped a picture and got a picture of the specifications.
Sure, exactly. Yeah. So looking at I mean, this thing is kind of loaded with ports already. Looks like it's ready for. You need to get one of those Ethernet adapters, but it's got the little one to clip on to. And of course, it's got its built-in display, so the video card is going to offer you something better. I'm assuming. It looks like it actually has its.
Well, I was saying RetroTech is saying I should buy this one.
They always say that. They're trying to get us to buy stuff every time. So
I don't know if I have a 900, to be honest. Maybe I do. I have a 950 behind me, but anyway, yeah, it's pretty good shape. A little yellowing. Did you see there's a chip in the case? Where is it? Right here.
I see it. Yeah.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah. That
very minor. And it's at the back. Not too bad.
And I would hope that these people have a 99.7% rating. So I'm assuming that they know how to package their stuff up so it doesn't end up in pieces when it gets to you.
I hope so. So.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's just really, and again, the 30-day warranty. That's pretty cool that they're doing that. So, other than not showing us what kind of the stats are,
and it has the key, right?
yes, it has the key. That's important.
Yeah. All right. Next, now here's an Apple rug, and John thinks we talked about it. Maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe it's been a while. The title is Rare Vintage 1980s Apple Computer Authorized Dealer Store Rug. The description says the rug measures about 72 inches by 72 inches. This was an original authorized Apple computer dealer rug from a store in the 1980s. It's in excellent vintage condition. There are a few scratches and dirt marks. Make best offer. So they're showing it
a 6-foot round rug. That
oh my
is
gosh,
pretty awesome. Yeah,
it is pretty awesome. It's so the background is gray. It's got a 6-color Apple logo. The colors are not great, right? The colors they picked for the rug, because the green's a little dark. The purple.
I think it's I mean, I don't know if it's because of the issue that they didn't back mask some of the colors for putting it on this dark gray surface, because the purple looks, and it could be just this picture too, but the purple looks, almost black.
Yeah.
Or a really, really dark.
It has a registered trademark little symbol there, and it says authorized dealer written below. RetroTechie says it looks fake. I tend to agree, but I also gosh, that's a lot of effort to make something that's fake. If it's just one.
Yeah, and it also looks like, just so you know, it's anyone listening, it's not like the pile rugs. This is like a very like almost like a mat, and so that's going to be like silk. The colors are going to be silk screened onto that surface.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a border there. I don't know if that's a separate piece or just a contrasting color.
I'm pretty sure it's just the sewn edges of the fabric. Yeah.
But the shape, the typeface, everything else looks pretty good. It's just the color's a little off. I wish we had a little bit more about the story behind this, like where it was, and that to give us a little taste of the authenticity. But if you're good to go with what you've read, then you can buy it now. $750 is what they want. There's no make an offer, and it ships from Ringgold, Georgia.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of weird that because in the description actually says make best offer. So I don't know if they intended to.
I don't know. That's not in the.
Maybe they forgot to put that in there.
Options.
I'm going to check and see what else these people. They've got 100% positive also. Well, they've only sold 16 items though too. So let's see if there are other items. It sounds like they're just a surplus. Yeah, that's they normally don't do a lot of computer stuff, it looks like. So
All
who
right.
knows?
Let's see. Go. Let's see. Now we're going to switch to Macworld. All right, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. There it is. All right. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to turn back the clock to January 1985. 40 years ago, Macworld magazine was the Macintosh magazine. The cover this month says 4-star software, 4 tests you can use to guide your software shopping. And we went through here and found some things that I thought were fun and interesting. Let's begin with, I think right at the beginning, I wanted to talk what's on the left here. There's a couple of ads here at the beginning. So real briefly here, there's the Mac Station by Microrain.
Which I have one of those.
Do you really? Well,
I
was
do
wondering
indeed.
about this.
Yeah.
And now that it's a what is it?
It goes over
describe
your Macintosh, your original Macintosh, obviously. So we're talking 85 here, and it basically gives you storage to the left and right, and a place to put your image writer printer on top. So it makes this little compact thing. I used it for a little while, and it's kind of funny because it's got like a pass through on the left hand side, so you can still like push the programmer switches with like, I don't know, a pencil eraser or something like that. But I was pretty I bought it off of eBay because I thought it looked cool and everything, but it really kind of blocks the side vents, which, as we all know, no, the top is actually fairly open because if you see that V shape, it
okay, I see.
The top vents are fairly unobstructed, but the side vents, even though again it does have kind of a through port for the vents, if you put anything in those bottom pockets like they actually show here, it really does block them. And so
that's what that was my big question about that.
Obviously, nobody really knew kind of the long-term effects of the heat and what these would do to your baked apple. But yeah, so yeah, I stopped using it.
What about running your external floppy on its side?
There's no issue with that.
It's not common. I mean,
no. But
have you ever seen a picture of somebody? Well, you say there's zero issue, but nobody does it either. So I just wonder.
I take that back. Because I used to on my 2GS, the way I had my desk set up when I first had my 2GS. That's the way they sat, because that's the only space I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It just looks so odd. All right, but you wanted to talk about the Tecmar Mac drive, which I'm surprised. So I wonder how long they got away with using. I mean, a lot of companies, they would append Mac to something and then get a pass, but then to actually have Mac space drive. Anyway, what is the Mac drive?
Okay, so the Tecmar Mac drive is, first of all right, so you know when Apple came out with their hard drive and it had the same kind of footprint as the Mac and it stacked on there quite nicely. This thing would almost make your original Mac look minuscule, because this is a beefy boy. It comes about to the height of the floppy on the original Mac, and it's definitely wider and deeper. But here's the other thing. I found a really amazing article on Mac GUI about this. I'll put the link on the YouTube channel. This was all right. So you think the floppy drive that they came out with was slow? This thing connected to your serial port. It came in a 5 or 10 meg model, and it ran. Let's see here. Yeah, basic OneDrive system listed for $2,000 back then.
which is about
So
$6,000 today.
yeah, for that drive.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to the fact that I was able to find that again, a fantastic article by someone over at MacGUI. Definitely worth a read.
Cool. All right. Let's see. What else do we want to look at? I think we're going to go to page 11. You kind of tease us at the beginning of the show. This idea of this being like the first anniversary of the original Mac, and what has happened in that first year? Well, a new Mac has been released in the fall of '84. The Fat Mac came out, and there's an article here by David Bruno called "The Price of Pioneering on the Wild and Woolly Frontier of Personal Computing." Someone has to take the first steps.
Yeah, mind if I read that original
Yeah.
so first paragraph is if you're among the original Macintosh owners, you've had to pay more to get less. But put into proper perspective, the sad fact isn't sinister or unusual, it's just the price of pioneering. The article just basically talks about for early adopters are gonna kind of get screwed by everything getting cheaper and better as time goes on. It's a really good read. I also want to mention at the end. Oh goodness, let's see where the end part is. Yeah, so at the end, he's got this thing. It's always good policy for computer companies to pay special attention to pioneers. A computer system's original buyers can influence future purchases in the business community. At the very least, they report their experiences with new computers to their friends. Mac pioneers will determine the future course of the Macintosh by software they buy and endorse. When the Mac user base reaches 250,000, these enthusiasts will set the tone for the next million users. And what they've done is they've decided to Macworld did a pioneer certificate for the first 50,000 Macintosh owners. So what you would do is to use the growing pains you may have withstood, Macworld intends to recognize your pioneering spirit. If you send me a subscription label proving that you subscribe to the first or second issue of Macworld and state that you are a Macintosh owner, I will send you an official Macworld Pioneer certificate to let the world know you are among the first 50,000 purchasers. So there you go. And they've got actually a little sample of the certificate, which was definitely just done in Mac Paint or
Yes.
or something similar. So
The certificate states this certified that name is an official Macworld pioneer and is entitled to respect and admiration for continued patience and perseverance as one of the original Macintosh owners and for being among the first subscribers to Macworld. And then, yeah, so there you go. Because when we go to the letters, well, actually, before we get there,
yeah,
put a pause on that. We're going to go to page 20 here so we don't lose it here. We'll get to the letters in a minute, but you wanted to point out
Kensington, yeah, which started their first product was for the Apple II, and I think it's just worth pointing out that this company is still around. They're still a vibrant company that still does a lot of different products.
Mm-hmm.
You think about you go through these computers and you see all these ads for companies you've never heard of ever again. Kind of like they were talking about, the Mac users are the ones who kind of decide what would be and what would go to the wayside. Well, this is an example of obviously their products were useful to people and they've withstood the test of time. So
that's pretty remarkable.
Kudos to Kensington.
There's so many of the companies in this issue, if you look through it, that are no more. Okay, now those letters. Got a few people that have some comments about the purchase they made when they were an earlier adopter, and let's see. Well, here's one of them. I'll read a little bit from this one. It says, Caveat emptor. I am outraged. Apple's original descriptions of the Macintosh, as quoted in the press, made it clear that the Mac was a 512K system released in a temporary 128K version because 512K chips were unavailable. Now I am told, in contradiction to my experience with the machine, that the 128K Macintosh is a useful computer and will continue to be sold, while the 512K version will cost about $1,000 more. What's more, any purchaser of the 128K machine who wishes to upgrade to 512K must pay $995 extra. This policy is a blatantly unscrupulous case of bait and switch. Of course, $995 is like $3,000 today.
Yeah.
So imagine you spend
right.
like the equivalent of $7,500 to buy this cool new Macintosh, and within a year, you find out that there isn't a lot of software that's going to run in 128K. And what you really need is 512K. But since you've already invested $7,500, how about another $3,000 in today's dollars to get you to be able to run all the hottest new software? So, yeah, I can't imagine. Can you imagine today like that? I don't think the company would exist anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But these were bold times, and people, I mean, the computer was changing everything, and people were willing to spend whatever, and
so
you could kind of get away with this stuff, and they did.
Right. So here's another one I want to read. I just want to compliment Macworld on its great science fiction. The detail is fantastic. Not only have you created great reviews of non-existent software for my Macintosh, but you have backed them up with fictional advertisements. Maybe some sharp company will pick up your great software ideas and bring them to the market. And then they go on to say that reviewing products that are not ready for release doesn't really help people. So a little snarky at the beginning, but also kind of tongue in cheek on that one, but still nicely worded.
Yeah, and obviously it puts the magazine in a tough spot because they've got to write and report on things that may or may not exist yet, or promised, or whatever. So
yeah,
very.
I just after you're finished, please go to page 24 because there is one other thing I wanted to talk about.
I am on 24.
Okay. So you're a PaintMate?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about PaintMate, but go for it.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, so even though there is an advertisement for ThunderScan in here, what if you can't even afford that? Well, how about a piece of glass? What this was a piece of, I guess, semi-reflective glass that would you would put an object in front of it, and it would you could kind of see the reflection of it superimposed on the screen of your Mac that you could then use to trace said object. In this instance, they have an apple. So this is about as low tech as you can get. Here's the funny thing: is this kind of thing is kind of still around. Artists use it all the time as a way to trace an object, but using actual medium, not a computer. So
even like a 3D object like this to project to a 2D.
Well, yeah, because. Yeah, I mean it'll still it doesn't project. All you're seeing is a reflection of it, and then you can kind of see what's behind the reflection because it's a piece of glass. So I just thought that was kind of funny. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because Retro Techie had mentioned about Apple used to sell plastic clear projection plastic to draw on. That he found some for sale in Ottawa, Canada. So I just thought this would be good to mention. Yeah.
Yeah. Over on page 32 in Macworld View, there's a little write-up here of the Game of Life. And I had not heard of this. I don't know why it's taken this long to learn of this, but
well, you know the Game of Life itself. You certainly have heard of that, right? It's
yes, but
you just didn't know
there was
that.
a public domain version that was programmed by Apple's own Bill Atkinson,
Yeah.
the author of Mac Paint. And I guess it was being passed around in Macintosh user groups. It's based on a game invented in 1970 by Cambridge mathematician John Conway. And although it's not really a game, you can win or lose, but you can get lost in its intricacies. It goes on to describe how it works. And there's a little, I guess that's not a screenshot, but a little diagram of things you might observe in the game of life. But it turns out that, yeah, you can find this on places like
Macintosh Garden has the Bill Atkinson version. So, yeah.
And so maybe for a future episode, we'll track this down, install it, and give it a whirl. But there it is, the Game of Life, another Bill Atkinson product. Okay, I'm going to scroll, or I'm going to pop over to page 55. Just this quick little letter here. Somebody writes, I was wondering how I could get one of those white t-shirts with the Macintosh logo from Noah Land in Santa Rosa, California. They're referring to the Picasso logo that was prominent on the Macintosh manual on the box. And then the answer was Macintosh t-shirts are available in sizes small to extra large from the Apple collection for $7.50 each, plus tax and shipping. Call 1-800-227-6703. How quaint is that?
So the Apple collection,
it existed back then.
already existed back then. That's pretty cool.
And then there's an address, and it says also the catalog includes a sweatshirt and beach towel with the Macintosh graphic, plus a wide variety of other gear with the Apple logo on it. There are high-tech desk accessories, clothing, lapel pins, mugs, luggage, and even a sailboard. So there you go.
Nice.
And let's see. I want to go to page 133. Kind of similar to that. What was that other thing? The PaintMate. What about this? What about Mouse Around? Let's see if I can scroll.
Hang on a second here. 133, you said?
Yes, Mouse Around, the mouse drawing tool for the rest of us. And it says, sure, Mac Paint is a great program, but did you ever try to copy a drawing with the mouse? Like your company logo, clip art, or cartoon, map, or sketch? Rather difficult unless you're an artist. Well, not with Mouse Around.
Holy
cow.
The
drawing tool for those of us without natural artistic drawing. Simply place the drawing to be copied on the Mouse Around drawing board. Insert your Macintosh mouse. Trace your drawing easily and faithfully using the red crosshairs engraved in Mouse Around's clear plastic frame.
So basically it's got, I see it's got a contraption to keep the mouse perpendicular. So it's going to go, left, right, up and down, but it's always going to be in the proper orientation. And then it has a reticle that you would, wow.
So you could trace something there. Boy, that sounds tedious. Suggested retail $49.95. They have it's patent pending. There's just a sketch of it. So presumably they actually made some of these and got them out there. It's also compatible with the Apple II mouse. So.
Well, yeah, because it was the same mouse. So sure. Yeah.
Boy, the lengths we went into to try to get things digitized back then. Okay, and I want to stop one more page. 148. This is on reference on the cover, but this is a night at the user group. A little description of what it's like to attend a Macintosh user group in those days, including some wonderful photos like this one right here.
Oh, wow.
Looks like a very well-attended event. And looks like somebody's setting up a slide projector right there. Give a little.
And it looks like that's Bill Atkinson in the audience.
Is that right? Where do you see him?
Look, blow it up. Look at the second person. So you got the guy in the white shirt in the front, right behind him. Tell me that does not look like Bill Atkinson.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. All right.
But that guy looks like 8 other guys in that room. So
oh, that's good. Good point.
but anyway, I love these old pictures of here, people gathered around the computer and doing demonstrations, and it's just a great article here. And actually, it's funny when the copy of the PDF I have, they scanned it
Yep, same one. Yeah.
with the card,
Oops.
the subscription card covering part of the article. Well, that's not fun. And then look at this picture right here. There's Bill Atkinson again. No. Anyway, kind of cool time capsule of Macintosh user groups back then. All right, well, that's January 1985, courtesy of Macworld Magazine. You can find that at archive.org.
So did you belong to any Mac user groups back in the day?
Macintosh, no. And largely because when I really started using my Mac, or I was in college. And so when you're in college, there's other computer users, and so you kind of become an ad hoc computer. I don't think there was a computer group official when I was in school.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I belonged to a really good. It was Apple, because I didn't have my Mac at the time. But when I was in Germany, there was a really nice. They had a Macintosh user group as well, but they also had a really good Apple users group, and it was usually about 20 or 30 people at it. It was pretty neat because, again, this was, I had my Apple II GS with me over in Germany, and so it was still nice to be able to get software, system updates, so forth.
Sure.
It was kind of a fun time.
No, I did attend a couple Apple user groups in the Apple II days. But that was it. And back then I couldn't drive, so I couldn't get there on my own, so it was a little tougher. All right, let's go to the news. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want to show that anymore. Let's see. Let's switch to this. There it is. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're switching to the news over on the Vintage Apple subreddit. Four Eyes and Thighs posted the Design Museum in London has a small collection of Apple products, including mint examples of the PowerBook 100, the clamshell iBook G3, aluminum PowerBook G4, and a Message Pad 120. And so if you're around this London Design Museum, look at that nice little display there. They've got everything
very nice display, very just nice
arranged. And clean. Yes. Looks like it also includes a number of newer Apple products, the iPods and iPhones, and even watches there. Very slick. I like it. It says "Do not touch," but is it behind glass? Oh no, I guess that's just on the side. Neat. And speaking of museums, I stumbled across this video today. The title says, "You won't believe what's inside Australia's Mac Museum." And it is a little walkthrough of a pretty incredible collection of Macintosh computers and Apple computers, pre-Macs, which all belongs to the new Mac Museum in Melbourne, Australia. And so Matthew is the guy behind all this. And I actually spoke to him earlier today, and he may even be listening right now. And he and I arranged to talk about this on next week's episode. So he's going to join us live from Australia, from the museum that he created. And we'll get to hear how this came together and what it's all about. Not exciting?
Absolutely. Yeah, that should be great to see. So
take a look at the video there in the meantime.
Yeah, I've been scrolling through it. And
yeah.
Yeah.
So very awesome. So we're looking forward to that, and that'll be next week. Okay. Not much on the news front, but it's plenty. Look. There's Matthew right there. Chiming in. Yes. your museum is decidedly more organized than John's or mine. I feel like mine is cluttered. After seeing it, I started like removing stuff. It's just like there's too many things everywhere.
Yep. I actually really do want to get rid of some of my ones over here so I can just kind of spread them out a little bit. They're too tightly packed.
I need
Looks
10
so
times the
nice.
space is what I need.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's wrap up the episode. All right, and 3, 2, 1. All right, that wraps up another episode of the RetroMacCast. We will be back next week if we thaw out. That's always a caveat. If we thaw out,
if you tune in and we look like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining, yeah, we apologize.
Matthew from Australia will join us and share with us how the his Mac Museum came to be. Yeah. And then a tease a little bit going forward. John has finished a project.
Actually finished one, yeah.
Yeah. What do I want to say about that?
I think I actually kind of showed the shell.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I did a little bit.
It's a scale 3D printed Mac.
Yeah.
That he's doing some cool stuff with. And he showed it to me earlier, and we'll save that.
Sure, we'll talk about that
after next.
And that'll actually be our 700th episode.
Oh my gosh, 700.
So.
Okay, that's appropriate then. All right. Well, until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
All right. Did anybody ask about my shirt?
Nobody asked about your shirt. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out that awesome shirt.
Of course, this is the skull and crossbones that Susan Kerr famously painted on a flag, and they hung above the Macintosh team's building when they were developing the Macintosh. And the Apple campus at the new headquarters sold this in the gift shop for a time. I don't know if they still have it there. I think it was just a period of time where they're selling some of these. And so I never made it out there to buy one. So I begrudgingly purchased one on eBay that somebody had resold. But I mean,
it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
I just had to have it because it's so iconic. All right. And I'm looking through the comments. There's a lot of stuff going on here. If we have to address anything, we're talking about Retro Techie is asking about hats for
he's
Dave.
asked several times about your hats.
What are the hats? Can we see all the Apple hats James has today? I don't know how that came up, but we did an episode on the hats.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Retro Techie was
few months.
Yeah,
where I showed all of my hats.
All his hats, yeah.
All that I found at that time. I think I even indicated on the show that I've since become aware of more that are hiding in my attic, but most of my hats. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Are we good to go, John?
We are good.
We're good to go. We'll play a little music. And we'll be on our way.
Thanks for listening to the Retro MacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.